Then Shaykh Fawzan, or rather then the author, Imam al-Barbahari, rahimahullah, he continues with what occurs on page 164 of the legitimate 2-volume Saudi edition, which is now available again. So what occurs on page 164, point number 17, that Imam al-Barbahari rahimahullah said, وَالْإِيمَانُ بِحَوْضِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ وَلِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ حَوْض إِلَّا صَالِحًا عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامُ فَإِنَّ حَوْضَهُ دَرْءُ نَاقَتِهِ. He said, and to have Eemaan in the reservoir, the Hawd, this great body of water, this great lake or reservoir, and to have Eemaan in the reservoir, the Hawd of Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And every prophet will have a reservoir except for Salih alayhi salam, for his reservoir will be the udder of his she-camel. Shaykh Fawzan hafidhahullah said in explanation, likewise from the usul, from the fundamentals of the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and people of the Sunnah and the Jama'ah, is to have Eemaan in the Hawd, in the reservoir. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam will have a Hawd, a reservoir, and every prophet from the prophets will have a Hawd, a reservoir of water, which his nation will come to drink from, because the people will suffer severe thirst, obviously meaning on the day of resurrection after the standing. For the people will suffer severe thirst. They will need water. And the reservoir, the Hawd of our Prophet, will be the greatest of the reservoirs. In the reservoir, the huge lake granted to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that will be the greatest one in size of all of them. He said its length will be a month, the length of a month's journey. Its length is a month, and its width is that of a month. Its water will be whiter than milk and sweeter than honey, and its drinking vessels will be the number of the stars in the sky. Whoever drinks a single drink from it will never become thirsty after it. And the apostates who apostatized, who left Islam after the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, will be pushed away from it. And whoever denied it, and Allah knows best, will also be pushed away from it, from the people of innovations. Also those people from innovations who deny it, and will be pushed away from it also, and Allah knows best. In a footnote here, they mention that this occurs, or there is reported with regard to this Hawd, a hadith which are mutawatir, reported by huge numbers of people at every level of transmission, so such a huge number that they could not have agreed, not have got together and made it up. So from them is that which Imam Muslim reports in his Sahih as hadith 2292 from Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As radiyallahu anhuma, who said, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, my Hawd, my reservoir, will have the distance of a month, and its sides will be equal. Its water will be whiter than silver, and its fragrance will be better than musk, and its drinking cups will be like the stars of the sky. So whoever drinks from it, then he will never ever become thirsty after it. Then they mention in the footnote another hadith in that regard, also reported by Muslim in his Sahih, as hadith 247 from Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, my Hawd, my reservoir, is larger than the distance from Ayla to Aden. It is indeed whiter than snow and sweeter than honey in milk, and its drinking vessels will be more than the number of the stars, and I will repel people away from it, just as a man repels the rest of the people, or rather just as a man repels the camels of other people away from his reservoir. They said, O Messenger of Allah, will you recognize us on that day? He said, yes. You will have a mark which no one from the other nations has. You will come to me with white marks upon your foreheads and limbs from the traces of wudu. And a group from you will be repelled away from me, so that you do not reach. So I will say, O my Lord, those are companions of mine. So an angel will respond to me and say, do you know what they did after you departed? The hadith. Then Shaykh al-Fawzan, Hafidhullah, he continues with the next part of the point. He said, and he's saying, وَلِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ حَوْضٍ إِلَّا صَالِحًا عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامِ فَإِنَّ حَوْضَهُ دَرْءُ نَاقَتِهِ. And every prophet will have a hawd, a reservoir, except for Salih alayhi salam. For his reservoir will be the udder of his she-camel. Obviously the she-camel that was granted as a miracle to Prophet Salih alayhi salam in this world. Shaykh al-Fawzan said, this exception means that every prophet will have a hawd, a reservoir of water, but not Salih. Except for Salih, he will have, what will be his will be the udder of his she-camel. Shaykh al-Fawzan said, this exception is not established as far as I know. And what is actually correct is that every prophet will have a hawd, a reservoir, as occurs in the hadith. Then in the footnote they mention, with regard to that, this occurs from a hadith of Samara ibn Jundub radiyallahu anhu, who said, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Inna likulli nabiyyin hawdan, that every prophet shall have a hawd, a reservoir, and they will boast about which of them has the most people who come to drink, and I hope that I will be the one having the most people who come to drink from it. Reported by Al-Bukhari in his book At-Tarikh al-Kabir, and by At-Tirmidhi and Ibn Abi Asim and At-Tabarani, and declared authentic by Al-Hafidh al-Mizzi due to its different chains of narration, as was mentioned by Ibn Kathir in his tafsir. And this hadith was declared sahih, authentic by Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah. Before moving on to the next point, a small point here from Shaykh Salih al-Suhaimi hafidhullah. He said in his explanation, the saying of the author that Salih, his reservoir will be the udder of his camel, of his she-camel. This is a place, is a mahallul nadhar, is a place of a doubtful point, or a point requiring to be looked at. He said, because there is no authentic proof for it. There is no authentic proof for that. Meaning the fact that his reservoir will be the udder of his she-camel. This is not established in an authentic hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And just finally, on that point, then Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah, in his book Ad-Da'ifa, Silsilatul Ahadith Ad-Da'ifa, he brings a couple of narrations in that regard. Number 771 and 772, he quotes two hadith which are not authentic about that, and he judged that these two narrations are mawdu', fabricated. And the same was said by Ibn al-Jawzi in his book Al-Mawdu'at, and Imam al-Dhahabi in his book Mizan al-I'tidal. that the narrations mentioning the Hawd of Salih being the udder of his she camel are not established from Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam.